Hi everyone, it's Ruth Hull here. I'm a homeopathic doctor, I'm an integrative health consultant, a 4 times published author and a teacher of anatomy and physiology. And I'm here to chat to you about burnout, exhaustion and fatigue. Last week, I chatted about the 5 most common causes of fatigue. And this week, I would like to talk a little bit more about causes of fatigue that are a little bit more difficult to deal with. So last week's ones were 5 common causes of fatigue. You can get a blood test done, you can rule them out, fix them really quickly. This week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about things that aren't so easy to change, but sometimes need to be looked at. And as I'm always saying, every week I'm going to go into more and more depth on the topics I mentioned here. So if you have any of these concerns, don't stress, we'll cover them at some stage. Otherwise, in my live Q&As or in my newsletters. If you haven't already subscribed to my newsletters, please do so below, and then you will be up to date with all my webinars, all my live Q&As, and every week you'll get some hopefully really valuable information on how to cope with your fatigue. Okay, so after that little blurb, let's get started. The one cause of fatigue, and unfortunately it's not very easy to always deal with, is side effects of common medications. A lot of our medications do have fatigue as a side effect, and we tend to forget this. I'm going to just mention a couple of medications that do have fatigue as a side effect, but I just really want to emphasize here that please do not take yourself off this medication because you know that fatigue is one of the side effects. Please talk to your doctor first. Whoever prescribed the medication to you, talk to them if you are struggling with fatigue since going on that medication. There's lots of different medications that your doctor could prescribe in its place, or he could just tweak the dosage for you. It is really dangerous to change the amount of a medicine you're on or to change the dosage yourself. It really does need to be done by the prescribing doctor. So please don't just stop a medication because fatigue is one of the side effects. So common medications used by a lot of people and that really do cause fatigue are your antidepressants, a lot of medications for insomnia. How ironic is that? A lot of anti-anxiety medications. Also, some of the medications used to treat high blood pressure and high cholesterol, some antibiotics, and also antihistamines. Antihistamines commonly have a side effect of drowsiness or fatigue. So if you are on medication for depression, for anxiety, for insomnia, for high blood pressure, for high cholesterol, if you're on antibiotics or if you're on antihistamines, and you are struggling with fatigue, firstly ask yourself, did you have fatigue before you started taking these? If you didn't have any fatigue, or if you weren't tired all the time before taking these medications, then please go to the prescribing doctor, talk to them about fatigue as a side effect of these medications, see if they can either adjust the dose for you or give you a similar medicine that doesn't have fatigue as a side effect. Please don't stop the medicine yourself. If you had fatigue before starting this medication, then it probably isn't a side effect of the medicine and you don't have to worry about that. There's probably something else that is causing your fatigue. Something else that does cause fatigue, and this is especially chronic fatigue, ongoing fatigue, complete and utter debilitating exhaustion or waves of exhaustion, is the underlying pathophysiological process known as chronic inflammation. This is something I do a lot of live webinars on, and so please subscribe to my newsletter and join me on one of my live webinars about chronic inflammation. It's a huge topic. It's a huge, fascinating topic, really fascinating. And there's so much that can be done to reduce the inflammation, but firstly, you need to identify the causes of what is causing your chronic inflammation. So please do join me live, sign up for my newsletter below, and then you'll know when my next live webinar on chronic inflammation is. With regards to chronic inflammation, things that do contribute to it and that you will probably need help with, so you would need to go to maybe a functional medicine doctor, a homeopath, a naturopath, would be your food intolerances. If you have a food intolerance or a food sensitivity, it will contribute to chronic inflammation. At the same time, if you have chronic inflammation from another cause, you will probably have food intolerances. So it does go hand in hand. Gut dysbiosis. By dysbiosis, I mean an overgrowth of the wrong type of bacteria in your gut. So if you have problems, if you have gut health problems, if you have a problem with your digestive system, then you're probably going to have problems with chronic inflammation. I do a lot of live webinars on digestive health and gut health and your microbiome as well. So yeah, sign up to my newsletter and you can hear all about that. Then menstrual problems. Oh, this is such a hard topic. If you're a woman and you're struggling with fatigue, with burnout, with exhaustion, with chronic fatigue syndrome, there is a really, I'm sure you probably have menstrual problems, either when you ovulate, so 2 weeks before your period, maybe you just get tired all the time. Sorry, you're tired already, not just tired all the time, but when you ovulate, you probably get more tired than usual. Like that's when fatigue can really hit a woman, is when she ovulates, or when a woman ovulates, she can often get sick. So you'll notice a pattern every month when you ovulate, approximately 2 weeks before your period. That's when the fatigue really hits. That's when the insomnia hits. That's when you get that sore throat, when you get that those coughs and colds. Or the other time is actual problems with your menses, with your menstrual period itself. So women with chronic fatigue often have very, very, very heavy periods, very painful periods, you know, the kind of periods where you just have to stay at home for a couple of days. You can't leave the house. Or you sometimes won't have periods for months. It becomes really a vicious cycle. If you have a lot of menstrual problems, it is going to lead to fatigue. It'll often lead to anemia as well, and it'll lead to fatigue. If you have menstrual problems, you do need to look at your thyroid health. But if you have chronic fatigue from other reasons, then it will probably end up causing menstrual problems. If you have chronic fatigue for long enough, if you are burnt out badly, then you will have menstrual problems. So that's a real vicious circle. And again, that's something I'm going to chat to you a lot about. I'm going to talk a lot about thyroid health. I'm going to talk a lot about menstrual problems. Men, sorry, I'm leaving you out here. Hormonal problems in men as well. Those are topics I'm going to talk about. I'm not an expert in men's hormonal problems, but I will find experts and I will interview them, and I will put up the webinars, but we'll probably do live webinars for those interviews, and I will put it all up here on my Facebook page. So stay tuned. If you're a man, I'm not leaving you out. It's not my area of expertise. I cannot talk to you about male hormone health, but I will find experts who can, and I will make sure we share as much information as possible. So that's your hormonal problems really, really do contribute to chronic fatigue. And menopause. Menopause, again, women just struggle with their energy levels during menopause, mainly because they're waking up with these flipping hot sweats at night, being woken up, hot flushes. So I'm going to be bringing you lots and lots of information about menopause, and we'll also get some experts in about menopause. One of the problems women who struggle with chronic fatigue from an infection caused by an infection, I spoke about that last week, can often wake with night sweats, and they think that they are in perimenopause or that they're going into menopause, when in fact it's an infection and it's not the menopause. So that's why you need to really get to the root cause of your fatigue. Find out what is causing that fatigue. If you have not done what I said last week, you'll find below the PDF, it's a checklist of the most common causes of fatigue. These are causes you can easily rule out. Infections is one of them, it's on the checklist. Please download this checklist, work with your doctor to rule out these common causes, and then stay tuned as we explore a lot more causes and also solutions to these problems. And then another cause of fatigue, one that is not really talked about or not really even considered until people crash and burn and then they start looking here, is the products that you use. It's all the toxins and the chemicals that you're constantly putting on your body, that your body needs to deal with, that your liver needs to process, that affect your hormones. And I have an amazing expert who I will interview. She's like the toxins queen, and she'll bring lots and lots of information of how you can start decreasing toxins in your life, because toxins are a huge burden on your body and they can cause a lot of fatigue. Toxins, mold, things we're eating, things we're drinking, as well as things we're putting on our skin or in our house. So we'll bring you lots of information on that as well. That's all for now. So I promise to keep these weekly sessions short, because I know you're busy, I know you don't have a lot of time, and I know you certainly don't have a lot of energy. So download your free PDF. It's a checklist of the most common causes of fatigue. It's what I spoke about today and what I spoke about last week. Go to your GP, get those blood tests done, and rule out these common causes. You might find that you've been struggling with exhaustion for years, when in actual fact you're anemic and you just need to maybe take an iron supplement and adjust your diet, and your energy will come back. You might find that your teenager who's just exhausted all the time, who is depressed, who is eating rubbish all the time, they might actually have a thyroid problem. It's diagnosed by one simple blood test that your GP can do, that your naturopath can do, that your homeopath can do. One simple blood test that can change your teenager's life. So really, I can't emphasize enough the importance of ruling out the most common causes of fatigue. It might just be those antihistamines you're taking. Unfortunately, not everyone has fatigue from these common causes, but rule them out first. And I will, this is what I'm here for, is to help you make changes to your diet, help you eat more iron, get more vitamin B, get more sunshine on your skin, make these small little changes every week to really get you healthy. And I'm also here to help you find out the real cause of your fatigue. It can take a long time to discover the cause. This is my job. I love doing puzzles. I drive my family mad because I always have big puzzles all over my dining room table, and I love putting them together. I think that's why I love being a homeopath, because homeopaths always work with big puzzles of people's lives. I like to look at someone's whole life, their family history, their lifestyle, their stresses, their emotions, what they've been through in life, put it all together and find the cause of their fatigue. And that's what I'm here for. That's what we're going to do every week. I'm going to bring up lots of different topics and hopefully help you. Once again, subscribe to my newsletter below and join me on my live webinars. Let me know what you want to hear about. Let me know what you want in these quick 10-minute weekly sessions. And looking forward to getting to know you. Keep well, and we'll chat again next Friday. Bye.